Hey, this is Paulina Papalouka. I'm in London, UK with John Lee of Wealth Dragons. Hi, John.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi. I'm at the Lifestyle Business Convention. Amazing event the past 2 days with 5 incredible speakers. I'm blown away. If anyone has a chance to go to a Wealth Dragons event, get yourself there immediately. We were presented the 5 of the world's most powerful ways to create an income, and not only an income, but the lifestyle and business that you love. And John is the main speaker and CEO of Wealth Dragons, right? And he's been to Cyprus. Some of you have seen him at the Entrepreneur Bootcamp 2015. What is Wealth Dragons?
Well, Wealth Dragons, we like to educate people in financial education because at school we were never taught the basic fundamentals of saving money, investing money, and spending money. There's different ways to spend money, there's different ways to save money, and there's different ways to invest money. In fact, when we're at school or in our lives, we are taught to save money for a rainy day. We're actually never taught to invest money for a rainy day. So Wealth Dragons will cover all different areas of and aspects of financial education that will teach people to learn. Instead of having earned income and trading time for money, we teach them how to create a concept called passive income, where we create a vehicle that creates an income for them where they don't have to specifically trade time for money.
Excellent, and this is what I'm focusing on now, and what you're teaching me. John is mentoring me, and when I started working with him and I saw the results in my life, I thought everyone needs to have this information, everyone, and especially in my island, Cyprus. We've been through a lot, but now that I've been here in the Wealth Dragons event in London, I see that everyone in the world needs this information. Everyone is the same. And what is the best way for somebody to create passive income? I know we're going to cover more of this in Cyprus, but briefly.
There's so many different ways. I mean, the easiest way I would say would be to create a vehicle that you're passionate about. And why do I think this is the easiest? Because when you're passionate about something, you have drive. And when you have drive, it doesn't feel like work. And when it doesn't feel like work, you have fun doing it. And it's almost like you have fun at the same time and you're making an income. So there's lots of different ways to do it. I mean, there's actually a methodology that I call the wealth model, and it comes in 3 parts. The first part is we need to create passive income to take back our time. The reason why most people are not wealthy is because they don't have time to be wealthy. They're too busy. That's the first thing. The second thing is we've got to create assets. So once we've got back our time, we want to create our wealth. And this asset base increases our wealth over and over and over and over again. So things like real estate and property is something that gives us what we call net worth. And the third thing is once we've got our time back and we've got our assets back, next thing we want to focus on creating a business that we're passionate about. And all these 3 things combined creates a catalyst which propels us to, first of all, create a business that we love, that we like, that we're passionate about, and that also makes us an income without us having to be in the business. So financial security is 2 different types. You have financial security, you have financial freedom. Financial security is how much money you have in the bank right now to live. So let's say, for example, a lot of people have, I don't know, £20,000 or 20,000 euros if you're watching this in Cyprus. How long could you live for in order for you to survive? That's financial security.
You lose your job tomorrow.
Correct. And the second one is financial freedom. Financial freedom means, how much money do you need to make on a consistent basis without trading time for it that comes in passively, right? I'll give an example of you asked me how do you do it. So I have lots of properties right now, and as I'm here, I have tenants who live in my property, okay? And why do they live there? Because they pay me rent. So I have a mortgage which, for example, let's say I've got one property, the mortgage is £273, but my rent that comes in is £1,500, right? So the difference is, I make over £1,000 from that one property, and I have a lot of those. So when you're talking about how do you achieve it, really, you have to learn before you can earn, right? You need to, first of all, learn before you can earn. You need to find a mentor who's been there and done that, who's better than you at doing that. Because a lot of people go to the wrong people for the wrong advice. And I call this unsolicited advice, right? You've got to go out and take massive action, because when you take massive action, you start creating results. And results breeds results, and action creates more action. And the more action you take, the more money you make. So these are the 3 things you want to focus on in order to achieve financial freedom.
Financial freedom. And
Yes.
we're going to talk about models at the seminar in
Great.
Cyprus for creating, because there is property, but there is easier ways for people who don't have the money now to invest in property, although here you teach ways to invest in property
there's lots of
without
ways.
money,
Yeah.
but we keep that for later. What separates, you're very successful, but you started from a very humble background. Your parents owned a Chinese takeaway, you worked there. A lot of people know your story now in Cyprus, but what separates people like you and the other wealth dragons I met, who everyone started from zero and created great wealth and contribution to everyone else? Like, what are the main things that's, people will say, oh, this guy is smart, he was born smart.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Well, I actually cover this in the Wealth Dragon Way. It's actually, if you've got the book, you should turn to, chapter 15, page 167. And I talk about the 10 principles and what it takes to become successful. And exactly that. I went to all these successful people and I drilled down on what is it that makes you different. And so one of the things that I did is very, very simple. I just found out what was that. First of all, the traits were, a lot of it was to do with motivation, like why, like the reason for doing it, and the reason was always an external reason. It was never for them, right? So for me, it's about my parents, right? For Eric, it's for his orphanage. For Vincent, it's for his wife. He said he would never let his wife down because he went through that rough patch. And so I noticed that they had a why, like a very sort of compelling reason why. That's the first thing. Second thing is they have this resilience, this stubbornness, and the stubbornness is they'll never give up. Like if you tell them they can't do it, they'll do everything to prove you wrong. Right, so I know there's a lot of stubbornness around that. I also noticed that they're very curious, which meant they always wanted to learn new things over and over and over again. I saw a lot of people who are very successful. They're always reading books. They're always every single one has consultants, advisors, and mentors. Right, these three things, you need to have these three things. You want to be successful. Well, look at the president. The president has advisors, has consultants, right? So you want to be the best. You need the best people around you, and that's the fourth thing is the team. So building a really strong team around you. You can't do everything yourself. You got to have a team of people that help and support and push you to that. And I guess the last thing I've seen with a lot of entrepreneurs is their curiosity. They're very curious people. I mean, they always ask questions and why and this, and they think out of the box. So these are the 5 traits that I've seen. And again, the book covers a lot more than that, and we'll be covering more in Cyprus.
And guys, this is why I do this. I've been through a lot. I've failed again and again and again. And the best formula I've found is find somebody who is successful, very successful at what you want to do, and model them. And stop trying to do everything on your own. And that's why we run these seminars, and we help people and have so many testimonials now and people who have succeeded and keep helping people. So what are the main tips you would give entrepreneurs? We have the Entrepreneur Bootcamp 2016 coming in Cyprus 23rd and 24th of April at Hilton Hotel Nicosia. We will have a link under this video. You can get your tickets. So what is the best advice you can give to entrepreneurs in Cyprus and all over the world? I've seen here that everyone is the same, like the audience we have in Cyprus. So it doesn't matter if we have prices there, if everyone is the same. What is the best advice you can give them?
The best, if I could go back 20 years and give my 10-year-old me advice, I would say to him, look, read as much as you can. Right, I'm dyslexic, so I can't read. So I listen to audiobooks. Right, that's the first thing. Why? Because a lot of knowledge you'll find in there. Second thing is you need a mentor. Right, if you can't do anything else, just get a mentor. But here are the rules for the mentor. Number 1, they have to have achieved the result that you desire. Okay, they have to be hard on you. Right, they have to give you honest advice. Right, and the third thing, when you get a mentor, they have to be there for you. And I see this a lot. A lot of the times we don't really. We get advice from the wrong people. It's what I call unsolicited advice. Right? So that's the second tip I would give. And the third thing is take massive action. I mean, really try and really push to a point where, like, even when you feel like giving up, you've got to push harder. Right? And so that's certainly the 3 traits in my life that and also as well, when you get a mentor, don't expect it to be for free. Right, you have to put some skin in the game. It's what I call hurt money. So hurt money will allow that person to try 10 times as hard, because if they have nothing to lose, then what's the point? So we must try, we must push, and we must have some skin in the game.
Excellent. And take action, taking action.
Yeah.
Be at the seminar in Cyprus. We're there to provide value. We're there to provide solutions that the market needs right now, tools, not only the inspiration, the mindset, but the real tools that can transform your business or help you start a business. So what will people expect to see in Cyprus in April when you're there? Just a last message for everyone.
One of the things I'll be sharing in Cyprus is, how do you create passive income? I'll be showing you different vehicles and how to do that. How do you use the power of technology to not only create passive income, but to give yourself a big net worth? How do you market yourself? How do you brand yourself? This is something that you're great at. How do you position yourself in the market? How do you start off? What are the steps to get started? How can we get started immediately and take action? The difference between success and unsuccess is the speed of implementation. So how do we take action? How do we develop the right mindset? If you don't have the right mindset, there's no way you'll be able to succeed, right? How do you change your money DNA? Because you're set for earning a certain amount, so we have to change that and raise it higher so you're able to earn more. All right, so all these different strategies. How do we use the power of the internet? How do we package our knowledge and create products that make an income for us over and over and over again? Right? How do we avoid the 10 costly mistakes that I've experienced in business? I'll be sharing some of those with you as well. And also, how do you model, replicate, and sustain what we call a viable business model? A lot of people start a business where it's doomed to fail. It's like it's only a matter of time. So how do we make sure that when we enter the market to create a vehicle that makes an income for us, that we are able to understand and predict the income that we're going to make? And also, how do you become an entrepreneur? A lot of people say, oh, you're born an entrepreneur. I don't believe that. I believe this skill can be learned. I believe this skill can be modeled. So you've got to find a specific way of modeling such a way. So I'll be teaching all this stuff over 2 days and really nail this. So when you finish, you'll be able to go out there, you'll have some amazing ideas, you'll have a plan, and you'll be able to create passive income so you can choose to live the life that you deserve.
Thank you. And really, guys, it doesn't matter where you live today. We live in Cyprus. Better. We have the beach there. We can be with our laptops and make money all over the world. And this is what we will teach, how to build this kind of business. There is the speaker here today. I was very impressed, from Malaysia, a multimillionaire in startups. And he was referring to a Cypriot startup at some stage. Yeah. And these people are in Cyprus and they're running. So this is what we're doing. I mean, it doesn't matter where you live. We're going to give you all the tools you need. So hope to see you at the event. Yeah. Thank you very much, John. I'm going back to enjoy the rest of the seminar. Amazing experience, and see you at the event, and see you in Cyprus soon.